Hey everyone, my name is Dave Pluff. I'm going to be your instructor for Art 100, Introduction to Art. This is sometimes called Art Appreciation, but it is a fantastic class to take. You learn so much about the field, and especially if you've never taken an art class before, this is a really great introduction to the topic. We cover everything from the formal elements and principles of design to the different mediums that artists use. We'll take a look at art chronologically. We'll look at specific issues within the field of art, such as art theft. It really is a very good all-encompassing class to the topic. It's a great stepping stone, especially if you want to continue on in the field and take others. Each of these weeks that we're together, you will get an email from me and via your campus email, and you'll also get a video like this every other week. Modules open up 2 at a time, and I'll walk you through all you need to know about the different modules when we get over to the Canvas site. So please do not overlook the email that you'll get every Monday morning, as well as the video link. Make sure you watch those. Those will save you time and heartache and all of that. I really walk you through all of the material you need to know, where to concentrate, what not to concentrate on, and what I'm expecting as far as completion of projects go. So with that, let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through that setup. All right, here we are on the dashboard, and you'll look for this icon here. This is actually a case study house that we're going to be covering during our modern architecture lecture. It's here in Los Angeles. Our class is Art 100. You'll just click into our icon there. It brings you to the home or syllabus page where you'll see the image again, little welcome to the class. And once you're seeing this on Monday, you'll actually have access, if you haven't checked your email, to the email that I sent out this morning. So the last 2 emails that I send out will be located here. You can always click on the announcements page as well for any past emails. So every Monday, 7 a.m., you will get an email from me. And below the banner, we have links to any projects that are coming due. So this week, we have a discussion board to complete. And then the following week is a modules quiz. And I'll show you where those are accessed in the modules section. So click on modules at the left, and that brings you to the modules page. You have 3 modules that you have access to right now. The first one is the admin material, and this is what you'll read first. So you'll go through like the course syllabus, the lecture schedule, as well as the late policy. You'll get all the rules and regulations there. I also have, for information, any DSPS information is here. Tech support is here. Some information about Netiquette, and finally some information about me. That's the admin module. The other modules, the way I run the class is 2 modules open up simultaneously. Module 1 is all you need to complete this week, but if you want to jump into Module 2, start working on that. That is totally okay, but there are some due dates that you need to be aware of. Primarily, the discussion board, the post needs to be completed by the 9th, and then up here in Module 2, the modules quiz needs to be completed by the 16th. So those are a couple deadlines you want to think about. I'll cover Module 2 in just a moment, but the information here basically is the welcome video, followed by an introduction, and the introduction has a summary or a definition of all the different headings here. For the summary, that's the action plan for the week. That's kind of what I want to cover. A list of lectures, objectives, and finally assessments, projects that are coming due. Now, any journal, those are due at the end of the semester. So that's going to be kind of a cumulative or capstone project, but you do want to keep up with these pretty regularly throughout the semester. After that, we have my office hours. Normally my office hours are on Wednesdays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. There's a Zoom link in here. All you have to do is click it to talk with me. There's no appointments or anything like that. Just come on and chat. That's fine. And this week, though, because I have a meeting at a school to go to, my office hours are moved to Tuesday. So if there's any change in my office hours, I will put a little note here. So I am available to you on Tuesday, the same hours, and then in Module 2, we'll be back to Wednesdays. So our first lecture is on the roles of the artist. It's a great intro lecture, especially if you've never studied art before. So you'll just click into the page and click the start button. And I think this one is only about 45 minutes in length. Each lecture is accompanied by a study guide. And the study guides normally will have vocabulary. They might have images as well to help you through the lecture. And that material also helps you focus to study for the quizzes. Here is our study guide for the roles of the artist. The roles of the artist is a topical lecture, so there's no true vocabulary. There's just the 4 different roles. You'll also notice that there's some imagery, and we have 4 images. Each of them relates to the 4 roles of the artist. So the gates will represent the first role of the artist, burning of the Houses of Parliament, the second role of the artist, and so on. And this will be a little bit more clear as we go through the lecture. So at the very bottom of this particular study guide has kind of like an instruction sheet on how to use study guides. You don't have to use them, but they really help kind of filter out the most important information that will help you do well on the biweekly quizzes. Information about the vocabulary, images, and also realizing too that not all material is going to be from the study guides. Going back to the lecture material here, there's also a further exploration section. And because this is a 0 textbook class, we have all the information for readings right up here. So you'll just kind of click on that. And usually they're pretty short readings. You know, a few paragraphs here is really all this one is. And then you'll go through these and read through them. I'll usually have some videos as well. And occasionally there's even a website to go to. But most of the time it's just readings and video. Some of them are very quick. I think the Spiral Jetty is about 10 seconds. Other information is about 8 or 10 minutes on these. So it doesn't take too long to go through them. But this is material I can't fit into the actual lecture because of copyrights and things like that. But they are still important information and material you need to go through. That's generally what a lecture is made up of. The lecture, the study guide, and then the further exploration material. We'll go through the discussion next. And for the discussion board, basically, I'm just asking you to introduce yourself to everyone. Tell everyone your name and what area of California you're from. Your current major or interest in school. Post an image of your favorite artist's work, or maybe it's just your favorite artwork or something that you like. Keep in mind for art class, we really do want to focus just on painting, architects, photographers, things like that. Musical artists aren't really in art class, so that's probably not going to be appropriate to choose. After you've made a post, come back to the discussion board later, see what other people have written, and respond to one other classmate's post. And the grading, 25 points for the initial post, 5 to comment on another person's work. The due date for the original post is going to be February the 9th, and a reply is due by the 16th. For an example, I used myself, something I would have written when I first took this class. I've got the paragraph here, the image I chose down below. I'll show you how to upload an image right now. So when you're doing the discussion board, you just click the reply button. A text box will open up. You'll just type right into the text box. And when you're ready to insert the image, just click on this button here. It drops down. Upload the image. and drag and drop right into there. And that's all you have to do. Make sure you click the reply button, and that should do your posting. The only other thing that you don't really need to worry about this week, but definitely next week, are the weekly journals. Next week, we have a lecture called The Language of Art. That's really what will help you answer journal entry number 1. For the journal instructions, it's just kind of a broad idea of what journals are, is that you'll normally keep like a running document. You can use a Google Doc or whatever. This gets turned in at the end of the semester. And a journal entry might be anything from a reflection, from a reading, to completing a worksheet, or even a short art activity. Everything that we do art-wise is instruction-driven, so all you have to do is follow the steps. So information here that you need to read. And then once you've completed that lecture, The Language of Art, in Module 2, you'll come down here to the journal entry, and you're going to write about this artwork here, which is by Frida Kahlo. And so we deal with iconography, which is the study of the meaning of images, and I'll give you an example during that lecture. And you're going to do the same kind of analysis for this work here, identifying some of the elements, coming up with a narrative or a story that this painting holds. So a little bit more information here. I'm looking for half a page to a full page of text, which is about 12 to 23 lines. And with college work, you always want to double space. That's it for Module 1. If you want to go ahead and get started on that, come back to Module 2 later. That's cool. Stop the video. This is the information now for Module 2. The setup is pretty much the same in all of the modules. The video on top, the introduction, and my office hours. So the introduction here, it just has the summary, lectures, objectives, and finally assessments. This week we do have a modules quiz. The quiz does cover modules 1 and 2. We have the Language of Art lecture, the study guide, and further exploration section. There's just one video in the further exploration section, along with some readings and also some information about iconography. After that, Space and the Illusion of Space, study guide, further exploration. Here, this is a little bit more involved topic. Space is probably one of the 3 important topics we covered during the first half of the course. The other would be line and color theory, which we actually deal with in the next couple of weeks. But we have some readings here. We've got a video on the Watchtowers, a small little video here, some information about linear perspective, and some background about perspective. This video is optional. It's a little bit longer. It's about 30 minutes. But if you find yourself really interested in perspective, that is a fantastic video. We do have a journal entry this week for journal number 2. We're going to actually do some drawing in linear perspective. We're going to create some shapes like triangles, squares, rectangles, and make them 3-dimensional like you see in this image here. I have all the instructions for you, including a short video on how to make one of these shapes. And for the submission on the journal, you're going to have a work that's in progress, snap a picture of it, and finally your completed work. And this is actually really simple to do, but just read through the directions, even do one on a scratch sheet of paper so that you have the idea, and then create your work. So if you do need any help, questions, comments on that, please reach out via email or stop by my office hours. Again, that's not anything that's due until the end of the semester, but obviously you want to do it as soon as possible with the material. That way you keep up to date on everything. So every other week, there is going to be a modules quiz. And the modules quiz covers both modules, 1 and 2. And This specific quiz covers the admin material. It covers the 3 lectures. And then it is timed, so you have 20 minutes to take the exam. There are 20 questions, each of them worth 1 point. So you'll just click into the exam. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll have the list of questions. Every time you answer a question, you'll see a check mark here. You have the time right here as it's ticking down. And some of these are very basic questions. What is my email address? You click what you think is the correct answer. Once you're done, you click the Submit Quiz button, and you're all set to go. And I think that is going to be everything for this week. The quizzes, by the way, are open book, open notes, but make sure you have studied for them, because 20 minutes would not be enough time for you to look everything up. So with that, welcome to the class. Once again, please reach out via email or office hours if you have questions, and I'll be back shortly to tell you about modules 3 and 4.